filtering administration within the WorkPro platform. My name is Kerry Brearley. I'm the Senior BDM here at WorkPro, and I'm going to be taking you through just to set the tone for what we'll go through is using the filtering system within WorkPro and how to get from a best practice within the business and what's available there. How to use a single or multi-pronged filtering to quickly view information on and make an informed compliance decision in regards to the completion of the candidate's information that they are required to complete for you. And I'm also going to go through using the applied filter to complete a bulk Vivo check, sending out a bulk request within Vivo, and the bulk induction verification. There's a couple of other things where I find that might be also quite useful, some other little features and benefits within the system itself. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and take you through the webinar. Sorry, just get rid of this screen. Okay, so first of all, we're actually going to start on the filtering system, which is located over here in the far right-hand corner. This provides you with, in regards to the 4 areas of compliance that you do within the business, these in segregation will take you through some of those filtering options that you will actually have. The first obvious one here is searching for a candidate. So if you are looking particularly for a candidate, now most of the dashboard should be all of your candidates that are currently out on work or obviously currently employed with you. The first name, surname search, once you've actually input that, it's a simple application and your candidate will appear then in your screen. Induction and learning. So there's a couple of options here. Some common tips and traps that I see is a lot of the inductions that are actually being sent out to candidates basically are not being verified. So we understand potentially in those high churn labour markets where you may get the candidate to take them through the journey of the onboarding compliance, but not necessarily they may be placed for reasons of they may not start with you, they've taken a role somewhere else, or they may not have actually even reached the opportunity to be placed with one of your clients. So probably getting some really good habits here that as soon as the candidate has been placed, as I mentioned in that basic option, either search for the candidate or at the end of the day, end of the week, what would work for your business is actually come in here and actually have a look at the particular candidates by selecting any candidates that have completed a work health and safety induction that have not been verified. Now, of course, there are a few different choices here, but what I want to show you is probably a little bit more of the common tips that I see that the full compliance isn't being done. With the verification, so all you will need to do here is tick that particular box and apply. What it will bring through is your dashboard here to say, who are my candidates that actually have been completed an induction, they've gone out to an assignment or they're an existing employee, and what I need to do now is produce the training certificate. So you can either go into the particular candidate itself to verify that work health and safety induction. You can either go to the induction tab, they'll have a verify results here. You simply hit verification of the results and it will actually produce a training certificate, and this here will then turn to green, meaning you have actually got your certificate to validate you as the employer have complied with your obligations to deliver work health and safety. So that's option 1. Option 2 is the bulk verification. So up in the actions tab here, you've got here a bulk induction verification. So if you've sent out a number of inductions to candidates throughout the day or week, if you select this, you can see then a number of candidates that you haven't produced training certificates. So again, you can do that all one by one and then do a bulk verification, or you can simply hit select all. It will actually auto tick all of the compliance certificates that you wish to then have available and to download, and then you can do a bulk verification. So key point number one, and that again is available to have a look at any candidates that also have been verified. From the application here, so in this case where I've actually ticked the non-verifications, you've got the capability of selecting this and exporting this out to a CSV file. So just a little tip here, you can actually produce a report after you've done the application of that filtering. On background checks, so this applies to a number of background checks that are available within WorkPro. All you will need to do is simply, again, select the background checks that you're referring to, or in this case, if I give you an example about citizen work rights, here, many of you actually get the candidates to provide validation and verification, either they're an Australian citizen or a non-Australian citizen. Again, what we see, some tips and traps here, if you go into any candidate to view and validate, who are my non-Australian citizens that are ready to submit to Vivo? So not a lot, but obviously this is the one that actually slipped through the cracks. So you can actually apply that to your dashboard to say, how many of my candidates that are a non-Australian citizen have not actually had their citizenship validated by Vivo? So by application of selecting the tick boxes, you can simply apply that. You'll come up in a list, you'll see here in the compliance area, ready to submit to Vivo. Again, you can either do that as an individual submission, or again, what we have here is the bulk Vivo checks. So you're selecting either a number of candidates to have that citizenship information validated. You're wanting to know that they've actually got the right to work in Australia. You're wanting to know whether there's any sub-conditions or conditions surrounding that visa. So again, what we're trying to do is improve some efficiencies in your business. You can select simply a bulk verification submission. You do have then the option here to enable reminders. You can set that at an interval either 30, 60, or 90 days out before it actually expires. The WorkPro platform has an inbuilt reminder. Now, you all have an automatic email address that all alerts will go to. This doesn't change. The only option here is you do have an alternate email address if you wish to have those reminders sent to potentially another either email address or a person that's responsible for that in the business. So once you've actually done the bulk, simply hit the declaration, validating that you do have the right. The candidate is actually being placed with you, and again, a bulk submission into Vivo. One of the other beneficial filtering areas within the citizenship is obviously you want to run or be able to run either a report on any of the categories, either whether that's an Australian citizen, show me all my candidates are an Australian citizen, show me all my candidates with non-Australian citizens that have any particular status, or you can come in here and see, especially in regards to the non-Australian citizen, show me all of my Vivo checks that are either expiring in 30, expiring 30 to 60, or expire 60 to 90 days. You again apply that. That information will sit on your home screen, and you'll again be able to export that to a CSV file. So quite a good little one there, just to remind yourself. And again, filtering system available for your ticket and license. So the key thing here, of course, is expiring. So you want to be able to see or run a report to say, show me all my candidates that actually have either a particular license. Now, all of these under the selected license types will be viewed if they've actually they do sit in your home screen, or any of those particular candidates do actually hold any of those. So if you've got a particular client that is looking for 30 tradespeople that have a construction white card, you can come into WorkPro, you can filter to say, show me all of my candidates that actually have a construction white card. You can again apply a layer over that, either export that to a report, however they will sit in this dashboard. And what you can do is then say, right, I need to know that all of those candidates that are going to my client are all have valid construction white card, and that they can be placed straight away with your client. And again, the most important thing here, what you're looking at, is at any time having the reporting capability within your systems to say, show me all of those candidates that potentially may either have an expired license or have a license coming up for renewal. So quite a good little filtering one there. And then your document management. So just to give you a little bit of separation about the license and tickets and document management. Document management is basically a non-industry or ticket or license that a candidate will hold. You might want to collect information. Say some of you might have contractors. Your contractors need to show a valid insurance, especially in a PLPI, so public liability, public indemnity. You can actually request for those candidates to upload and share that information. So again, if you do collect and gather those, it could be simple as a first aid certificate. So some of my clients actually, especially in that health area or nursing area, aged care, they want to be able to see that they've actually got an existing first aid certificate. So again, there's no exhaustion of what you can actually have within that document management. You will need to create some fields around the document, but certainly today what we're focusing on is monitoring all of those, the filtering area available in WorkPro. And again, as the ticket and license, you've got the validation in regards to showing all of those that have expired, potentially, documents. We've got a couple of minutes, and what I actually want to share with you today is I do get asked the question about, how do I sort of, I don't want to see any of those candidates that are no longer with my organisation and have left your agency and gone to work with someone else. You don't want to be getting alerts for all of those. So we do have a feature that you can archive those candidates out of your portal. So your home portal system should be there and designed to have your current candidate database in there. So if I was to, I'm just going to clear these filters out and go back to the main dashboard. As for example, if you've got here Tarek that had no longer been with you, to actually archive that candidate, simply drop down this little arrow, jump right down to the bottom and archive candidate. Now, the compliance aspect of that candidate is not deleted, it's not removed, it just sits in a different dashboard view. So to actually have, to find those particular candidates, you've got here the views option. If you drop that down, you can see here you've got a different dashboard saying archive candidates. If you selected that, you can see where I've actually placed Tarek. So to get back to your home dashboard, you simply just remove your archive. It will take you back to your home dashboard. If in a point in time in the future that Tarek comes to work with your organisation again, you can go into the archive candidates. You know he's worked with you before. You will have record of that. You can simply restore the profile. Close that down. You're going back into your home screen, which is your current group of candidates. In 6 months' time, if Tarek was to come back with you, one of the key things is you're looking at, has he got all 100% of the compliant components that you require to ensure that your compliance is up to date, from an auditing perspective, as also for control for any external bodies that come in and of course want to speak to you in regards to the compliance aspect. So thank you very much for listening today. If you do have any questions, if you'd like to call WorkPro inquiries on 1300 975 776. Thank you.